Hello, writers, and welcome to session 19, Adding Text Features. So first, let's take a review of some text features that you know.
Let's talk about nonfiction text features. Text features are the things found in nonfiction materials that help you make sense of what you're reading. These text features can also help you decide which pieces of information are the most helpful to you. Titles are usually located at the top of the page or front cover. They tell you what the book, article, or chapter is called. Some books and articles have subtitles. The subtitle gives more information about the title. The beginning of a nonfiction book or article often has a table of contents. The table of contents tells you on what page each chapter or section begins. Nonfiction materials use lots of tools to share information. Charts, graphs, and tables organize data and statistics to make it easier to read. Photographs and illustrations often have captions underneath them. Captions give more information about the picture. A diagram is a simple drawing that shows the parts of something or how it works. Diagrams have labels that tell you what each part is called. Some nonfiction materials have maps. A map shows where something is located. A timeline shows the order of when things happened. Timelines are often used with historical events. Nonfiction materials often use bold and italic letters to draw attention to important words. Bold words are made with dark, heavy lines. Words in italics are slanted. Sometimes the bold and italic words can be found in the glossary at the end of the book. The glossary is like a mini dictionary that gives definitions of the keywords found in the book. The index is usually the very last page of the book or article. It tells you on what pages you can find important information or keywords. Words in the index are listed in alphabetical order. Nonfiction text features are the things found in nonfiction materials that help you make sense of what you read. Let's look at the text features we've learned so far. Title, subtitle, table of contents, chart, graph, table, captions, diagram, labels, map, timeline, bold, italic, glossary, index. Thanks for listening.
All right, writers, this is what you need to know. Information writers think, what text features will help my readers learn more? And they only include the text features that will really help readers. They think about what the chapter and text is mostly about, and that helps them decide what information should be popped out or highlighted. So let's take another reminder about the purpose of some of our common text features. A drawing or a photograph can help the reader picture the subject. Diagrams can also help the reader picture the subject, and they use labels and words to explain parts or ways things work. Definition boxes can help to explain vocabulary words or those content-specific words. Maps can help the reader understand more about the places where, in this case, since we're talking about animals, they live. Timelines can help showcase the order of events. Glossaries can help define that key vocabulary from the text. And charts can show how two things compare and contrast. So let's take a look at this chapter about penguin babies versus frog babies. And while I'm reading it to you, I want you thinking, what different text structures could I use here? You might be thinking, frog babies and penguin babies have nothing in common. Although they have many, many differences, they also are the same in a few ways. One of the big ways that penguin babies and frog babies are the same is that they both start out as an egg. However, baby penguins stay in their eggs a lot longer than baby frogs do. Baby penguins stay in the eggs for 34 to 35 days. Baby frogs stay in their eggs for 6 to 21 days. That's a lot less time. Another difference is that penguins only lay 1 or 2 eggs and frogs lay a lot of eggs. Sometimes they lay hundreds of eggs, and some can lay 6,000 eggs. They have to lay so many eggs because many of them die or get eaten by predators. I'm going to give you a second to think. What kind of text features would have helped you better understand this chapter? I think a chart, maybe showing a Venn diagram, it would teach the same information, but it might help some people to see it organized differently. I was thinking pictures of the frog and the penguin eggs, and maybe even a little bit of a diagram showing how long they stay in their eggs and when they hatch. So now it's your turn. You're going to go back and read one of your chapters from Bend 3. So you had the opportunity in session 17 to write a chapter, and in session 18, you may have written a different chapter or continued your work on your original chapter. So you might have one or two chapters to pick from. So go ahead and pick one of those chapters. And I want you thinking, what do I want to pop out? What is my big idea? Because that's the point of our text features, to really focus in and help our reader understand our big idea. And then what text feature will help that? So your job today is I can add text features to my informational writing to help readers. I know I'm successful when I think about what help readers might need. I pick a text feature that matches the need, and I create the text feature and put it in a spot that makes sense. So this is what we're going to work on today. And if you think about what our mentor texts have looked like over this year, many times there's more than one text feature on a page. So your job is to add at least one, but then your challenge is going to be to add more than one. So let's take a look at what your writer's notebook looks like today. So here is your writer's notebook for session 19. You'll see you have your teaching point and your job to remind you, as well as the purpose of some of your nonfiction text features. You also have 2 pages worth of nonfiction text features that remind you of what they're called, their purpose, and give you an example of what they look like. So take a moment now and think about which of these you would like to do. Then you have 2 options. You can go back to where you worked on writing your chapter in session 17 or 18, or you have a few blank pages if you need to make a larger text feature. And if you decide that you're going to publish one of these chapters later, you can also cut and paste these together. Don't forget to take a look at this little reminder down here. Have you created any text features in your reading notes or in content? You can go ahead and go through your field journal, your research books, see what other information you might have already collected. Okay? Let's work on bringing it all together now. Off you go, writers.